Greetings, everyone. Welcome. After some discussion and voting with chat, we have landed on a premiere draft of Strixhaven, and I'm going to see where we end up. I forsook, is that the word? Forsaken? We forsook a first pick Killian yesterday and ended up, it was very poetic. We passed I didn't think about this till now, but we passed a first pick Killian. And we did it for the hall, that rare land that's pretty bonkers and kept us open. But then nobody got into Silver Quill, and we passed a last pick Killian. So we passed a first pick Killian and literally pack 3, pick 14. We took a card that was not Killian and passed Killian for last pick. It hurt my soul a little bit. We did okay in the event, all things considered, but certainly would have been better in the Silver Quill seat in that one. But that, of course, is what we call hindsight. Easy to regret the perfectly open lane after you get to the end of the draft and see that it was wide open. If we'd passed Killian and Silver Quill was nowhere near open, we would have felt like geniuses, right? That's just how that goes. You gotta not put too much weight on those after-the-fact results on what you, quote, should have done in a draft, because you can only make your decisions based on the information you have at the time. So just go easy on yourself when you see the draft that could have been. You didn't know it could have been. How could you have known it could have been? There was a guess, right? But don't let the unfolding of reality make you think you have done it all wrong. You made some reasonable choices, and then life got you that day or whatever, right? If you want to get something for your life at cardkingdom.com, I think you should check them out via my affiliate links. You can check them in the links down below in the panel, in the YouTube notes, or in the chat link there. That lets them know you got there from here. And Card Kingdom is going to hook you up with everything you need for your game, whether you're like me and you're constantly getting like little blingy things from them. Ooh, I want a foil witch's oven. I just know that I want that in my toolbox. I don't know when I'm going to need a foil witch's oven for some commander deck or some cube inclusion or a weird Canadian Highlander deck, but I wanted one, so I put in a restock notice, and when they had them, I got them, just like that. And I even use my own affiliate link, so when I buy stuff from Card Kingdom, I support my own show. It's like a self-eating your tail kind of thing. I don't know how that works, but hopefully it's a number on the page that supports me, and you can do that too. Appreciate it. Paper is coming back in a big way. Maybe you need to get your deck ready for the next big event. I know I'm excited about all the in-store play coming up, but let's continue the digital side right now and jump in for some gems. Get into the draft view here. What do we got? We got a Dark Ritual. Cool looking Dark Ritual, but not where we want to start. Lorehold Command, though. Doesn't necessarily mean we want to be in Lorehold, but there's a lot of value. Hard not to take this first pick, regardless of your opinions of Lorehold. Other cards in this pack that I just generally like: Pop Quiz, Field Trip, Ether Helix, Cram Session, The Summoning. So, a bunch of lesson, learn, and 2-for-1s, right? Ether Helix is interesting. Strong card, easily splashable, though we're taking it. Quintorius could wheel. I mean, like, people just don't end up in Lorehold, and Quintorius maybe justifiably wheels. Really, it's that base body that for 5 mana, if you're not doing the thing, if you are not getting stuff out of the graveyard right quick, a 2/4 for 5 does not cut it in Modern Magic. So that's the real problem with the card, but I have done stuff with it, and we'll think about the fact that that could be there for us on the wheel. From here, we've got a Hunt for Specimens as, like, Dina and Hunt are kind of strongest cards. If we just ignore the Lorehold Command and don't worry about it, I think I like Hunt. Although Spirit Summoning, like if this was the Ink Summon, the Inkling Summoning, we'd take that. But yeah, we can take Hunt. I think it is the best card here, really. Eureka Moment's great too. Guiding Voice, one of my favorite learn cards, really, and goes with the Lorehold command. Could lead us into Silver Quill. Some alternatives include the Arch, which I like, the Pest Summoning. All the summonings are fine. All the summonings are good in any of the colors that can cast them, and you do want to prioritize them, but not here over something as powerful as Guiding Voice, I think. And yeah, I'm on that. Like, I like a Zoomancy, not this early. I've mentioned this before, but the power creep of the 4 mana, 3 toughness, green dude that brings in a creature with it have gone up and up and up. Usually the rare stuff, it depends on what they want to do in terms of constructed. Tron's asking why there's not more balance in the power of the commands. And first, it might be a constructed thing where it's like, well, yeah, you think it's not balanced because you're playing limited, but in constructed, Witherbloom at 2 mana is the... I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying, like, it may be that we're not even thinking of it in the same way that Wizards is in terms of the constructed. Eliminate seems fine here, though. Yeah, and sometimes you miss low. It can sometimes be no more complicated than that. You take your shots, you miss low. Well, Arrogant Poet is not like the best card in this pack by a long stretch, but are we locked? Are we kind of in now on the Silver Quill? Because I could just take a Creative Outburst even. If we want to just abandon Voice, Eliminate, and Hunt, we could end up Creative Outburst, Splash, Lorehold command, right? Summoning has been called for. I was hesitant to take it simply because it's not in any of our, like, literally any of them. Like, there's the thing it is not is Mardu. So anyway, I'm just talking out possibilities here. I think it is just Poet. You like the Mage Hunter? Yeah, I've been down on it, but maybe I should try it again. We'll probably wheel the Poet anyway. Quandrix Pledge Mage still here is signally to me, along with the Tendrils. Whew. I mean, I think I take the Anatomy. It goes with what we're doing here, but I just want to note that the Quandrix is wide. Yeah. So, but if you want to pivot by taking a Pledge Mage over because Anatomy goes in Quandrix as well, we can just take the Anatomy and know that that we're going to look at the next pack. Here's the thing, though. We know. I'm gonna take the Anatomy. I'm gonna take the Anatomy, and we're gonna keep an eye on the packs coming up. But there's 4 good Quandrix cards there for sure. But see, this is what I was thinking might happen. Now I get an eye twitch, and I just don't. And that Quandrix laden pack is now gone, and it's like, okay, now I'm just kind of back on the Silver Quill plan. But I'm going to keep an eye on it. I mean, no pun intended. And it's like, this was an interesting pack. We got an eye twitch. If this was more Quandrix good stuff, I would absolutely have jumped on it, but it doesn't contain any. Another Guiding Voice. Now I just want to lock in on low to the ground Silver Quill. I mean, I want my puns to be properly attributed. Yeah, I'll take that. Another Mage Hunter. Pillar Drop Rescuer is a fine top end for a deck like this. 2 Mage Hunters is almost a plan, though. Well, let's try a second Mage Hunter. This is pretty gross, and this Eureka Moment says that indeed the Quandrix deck still seems to be open. Reasonable to take gems, though. I like Tron's call. Just take the rare. 20 gems. And then a pest summoning is still here. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll grant you that the guiding voices have been like the only white here. So maybe pest summoning and keep an eye on green. Regrowth pest summoning could we could backdoor into green here as well. This was the loaded. Was this the loaded Quandrix pack? No, we'll take the fixing here though. That'll help with the command potentially. Remorse comes around. That's cool. We'll take Remorse over the Dusk Mage. Warning. I'd rather have more guiding voices, but Access Tunnel is interesting. Tough on mana, but we'll see. Other tapped creatures. Okay, we could play this for the white side. Combat Prof. Pass Caller. We're already trying to splash the command. Plarg all day, interesting, because, I mean, we're not really red. Like, so this is about Augusta, Dean of Order. And, I really do want to run the Lorehold command, so I'm kind of on Pass Caller. Surprised nobody else is talking Pass Caller. I'm taking Pass Caller. Taking Pass Caller, and we're going to make it work. Another Guiding Voice. Another Pledge Mage. Plumb the Forbidden. If we were to back into the green, we just take an Onslaught here. I love a Guiding Voice, but I can't overdo it. And I don't even know, maybe we're not white, you know? Maybe I am pushing the white too hard. But Onslaught, nice and safe. We're definitely black, so let's take the Onslaught. Might wheel that Guiding Voice, depending on how the table thinks of it. Environmental Sciences is what I wanted to see. That really gives us the command and the Pass Caller. Just slammed splash, just like that. With the Eye Twitch and double Guiding Voice and Hunt for Specimens, we're almost there already. I'll just put this anatomy in the board as well. There's a Killian we will not forsake. And Harness Infinity, fun card. But if you're really gem conscious, you could take the Mythic. But I wouldn't take Killian over any just random rare. I think Killian's probably close to the EV of a gem EV of a random rare. Close, but still going to be tough. Although that's something I would like to see a great data analyst do a dive on. Where is the line for a pick that if you're gem conscious purely, when should we be rare drafting? We now have the data to kind of look into that more closely. Pillar Drop Rescuer I like, but I think just a Spectre for the 4 slot in this type of deck is going to be fine. Poet over Opt. Star People doesn't really make the cut for me. This doesn't really make the cut for me either, although this is the type of deck that would consider it. Yeah, no 3-drops yet? That's weird, huh? Our 3-drop right now is casting a Guiding Voice and another 2-drop, but I feel you. We'll keep an eye on that. Mage Duel still in the pack. And this still in the pack continues to show that Quandrix could have been a fine direction. I like where we're headed too. I think our deck is shaping up, but Quandrix and green especially seem super open. I hear you, Robert. Which is why I don't do that especially as much as I used to. I'm going to just take the Rescuer. But there are people for whom gem considerations are front of mind, and I want to acknowledge that and make sure they have that thought out. Statement is great here. I really want a first year, actually. This is kind of a 3-drop, though, but we'll take this Statement. So yeah, again, Quandrix, also basic Conjuration still here. Mathematician, like Quandrix is wide open, but so it seems is Silver Quill. Makes me wonder exactly what's going on at this table, because nobody ever likes Lorehold, so is just like literally everybody Prismari, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just everybody's Prismari. That's the only explanation. We'll take a campus here in case we want to splash green. I don't see anything else that's competing with that. I'll throw it in the board now. Oops, now though. Right now we're not playing that. We have no reason to. Nothing we're splashing. Now I'll take a plum over the essence. We'll think about it. Fenrir likes the essence there. I continue, like plum, this is a legit card. I don't know. Essence I continue to not love. But Containment Breach in the board is interesting. I mean, there's a study there as well in another campus. So I'll take another campus now, and heck, we could do some green splashing if it came to it. Pop Quiz still in the pack? My goodness. Is this the heavy Quandrix pack? Maybe. Oh yeah, I should have taken Lorehold. Sorry, I got in my head about the Containment Breach or whatever, but yes, I should have taken Lorehold. That was a dumb pick. Dumb pick. And look at this, though. Last pick, Arcane Subtraction. Yeah, what a weird draft. I mean, we are not open, but holy hell, the Quandrix deck. Is it too late to switch? We'll grab a Lash here over the and let the command slide by. Too late. But again, I like where we're at. It's just that the Quandrix sitch is something else. Too bad about that campus, though. You're absolutely right that I should have this have a Lorehold campus happily in this deck right now. Maybe we get one here. I mean, what else are we taking? I guess I want Annihilation, and we'll try and wheel this one. Oh, there's Inspiration, though. If we're going to splash, we can splash the Inspiration, too. Yeah, let's take it. Really, the Environmental Sciences makes me feel a lot better about missing that campus pick, because as long as we get enough learn, we're going to be fine. And here we're going to take Onslaught over something like Inquisition or anything else. Kind of creature light, as can often be the case, but I would like to get some more 2- and 3-drop creatures here. And then you're given a closing statement instead. Fine, fine, fine. I'll take another closing statement. Village Rites. It's funny. It's I like the regular Mystical Archive frame more than this one. But we already have a Pest Summoning, so a second loses some of its luster. This could be a Show of Confidence deck. It's true. We've got decent lessons, but maybe not as many as I'd like. You're right. Let's take it. Make sure we got something there. We have some lessons, but not a lot of on-color lessons, so that's totally fair. Spirit Summoning could be an on-color lesson. We can have another shot at a Show of Confidence. Crushing Disappointment could do some work in a deck with as much removal and as fewer creatures as we have. I also like the Assistant. But right now, all we can really do is take the Summoning. I hear you, Swim Down, but it's not... I mean, I guess I passed the Eager first year for like a closing statement or whatever, but I feel like I haven't had the chances to find the 2s that we want. I haven't really given the opportunity for them. And here we again have... I mean, we can do Sign in Blood. I think I want to Sign in Blood because we actually have... I mean, it's good card draw. And we have 2 Onslaughts. We have an Inspiration. We have 2 closing statements. I just feel like... And we have a Pillar Drop already too, right? I thought we did. Oh, maybe we didn't, and I should have picked one up. I thought we had a Pillar Drop. Maybe it's in there and I'm not seeing it. Anyway, Guiding Voice. Take that. Even though we're... I don't want another Remorse. We have one of those. Oh, there it is, pillar drop. I knew we had a pillar drop. I just somehow lost it under all these other 5s. Weird draft. We're in a kind of open color, but Quandrix was the wide open. And Prismari Apprentice is here to... So nobody was drafting anything. Everybody was drafting Selesnya, I think. No, but then green was open. So everybody was drafting Azorius. It was... yeah, I guess I take the Dusk Mage in case. I hope... Oh my god, do I have to play a Dusk Mage? Don't make me play a Dusk Mage. Yeah, I feel like somebody maybe got into our lane. But here's that campus we wanted. There's one more that might come here. Commons. I don't think we're playing another commons to the point that I'll just take Vault Progress. White never really seemed open, but Silver Quill did, right? Closing Statements came late, and Killian came, well, not maybe super late, but you're right that Black... White wasn't open as much as Silver Quill felt reasonably open. That's a nice last pick. And look, we have a deck, just like that. Just like we drew it up, gang. Just like we drew it up. Pull it into a stop. I gotta play this Dusk Mage, though. Boo. Blah. Although we do have 3 guiding voices, so we actually are likely to make this a 3-4. Oh, yeah, I'm not done yet, Math. I'm just making sure there's not anything I want to do on the spell front before I check lands for finality. I like if we run the commons, then we do have kind of this access to Containment Breach if we happen to get the commons. I'm going to cut the access tunnel, though. That seems a little tight. iTwitch, Poet, and Killian are like our only things to... Well, Pillar Drop also gets back a Dust Mage, but yeah, that's a pretty few... But how do we cut... We're pretty low on creatures. If we're going to cut this, we got to do something dumb like bring in another mage. Are we genuinely happier with this on 3 than this on 5? Plum has similar issues. I mean, I guess with double pest summoning, Plum gets a little more interesting. Yeah, we need the creatures, but that's why I'm saying, do we want a Pillar Drop or a random 3? I guess it's a sign of how our lane got invaded that we're playing promising Dusk Mages. Or again, maybe that just White was never open enough to be where I am. I don't know. I'd have to look back. I mean, there was that obvious pick where we took an Expanded Anatomy and there was a ton of Quandrix in the pack. There was a bit of a pivot point. I don't know if there was a previous pick where we could have Quandrixed our way. There was some early stuff where I was close to Quandrix, where if we had landed on a Quandrix card, it could have been... yeah, there you go. I'll get to deck building. It could have been really a payoff. As it is, classically, this is one of those decks that has some high notes and has some low notes. Yeah, green felt, but then, I mean, everything felt a little open. We got a pop quiz, 13th or something, right? There was just, there seemed like there was a card in every color that showed up way late, by my estimation. What do I know? Back to our land. We're really leaning on our guiding voice, hunt for specimens, early learning to splash. I really only want the one mountain and the campus and the commons. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 currently can produce white. 6, 7, 8 can produce black. So if we do that, now we're at even even Steven, we just do one more of each. And then we're at 7, 8, 9 black, 6, 7, 8, 9 white, 9, 9, 3 on the naturals, plus all the ways we can get in environmental sciences. I do Libraforce, but what's your plan? I mean, you want to yeah, Libraforce has a point. These guiding voices might be tough to cast. Let's bring in a arcane subtraction instead, right? I mean, I just don't know what you like. What do you want to do is the question. You want to cut a guiding voice and bring in a rescuer that also is going to have trouble being impactful. We could bring in that plum, but if I'm worried about having something to put a guiding voice on, bringing in plum doesn't seem like the right thing to do. So once you get to your once you start stripping it down and seeing what you're really working with, you just don't, I mean, you do a professor's warning, but again, that requires a target as well. So, and I can't quite bring in a 2/2 flyer for 5 that sometimes has the upside of getting a creature back. Although there's a, you know, hey, in 15 years ago limited, this would be a playable without, without the second ability. It does bring Killian back. It gets a great one, but I don't know if that's worth it. And I would still rather just try and find something to throw the voice on. We're going to do the best we can with it and see how it goes. I like this. Let's see if we got any. All right, Mirage lands for Tron. Sure thing. 6 plains, 7 swamps, 1 mountain. I'm going to call it top men. The word I was working with was top, just because this is a top end type deck. If we get return pass caller bringing back Lorehold command after we cast inspiration and a Mage Hunter's Onslaught and a closing statement with our Killian in play, it's going to look like we have the best deck in the universe. If we find our third guiding voice with no 2-drop and then pick up finally a promising Dusk Mage, which we attempt to put in guiding voice on and it gets killed out from underneath us, we're going to feel like we have the worst deck ever. So this is going to be swingy based on the quality of cards we draw, I believe. And so I call it top men because I want to draw the top part of our deck. If we draw the top part of our deck in terms of power, we'll be fine. If we don't, this could be over quick. What do you think? You tell me what you think. I'll hop here. I think I have some memes I owe, like a weird science. Weird science. Well, here's exactly the problem we were worried about. 2 guiding voices, 0 early drops, but we have a closing statement that can kill something on 3, find a swamp, we can kill anything on 4. I am going to keep, but, you know, this is what we signed up for, and I'm not going to get upset that our own deck's problems are coming to bear. This is what I signed up for with this one. It's how it played out. Math wants to mull. I could see a potential. I could see you wanting to mull there, but I think this is too fine with the closing statement in both colors. Now all 3 colors even. Yeah, you could say we need multiple kinds of things, but I feel like we only need land to be okay. Passive is going to be the name of the game. I mean, that's the nature of our creature lightness, right? We've got a lot of removal. Can I not do this? Oh, I have to have a creature in order to cast it? guess I didn't realize that about that. That takes it down a notch. Oh, I gotta pass again. Okay. No, it says end turn. Look. Oh, really? Okay, it does work. I was really confused. When there's a button that says end turn, it makes you think you're gonna end your turn. Lorehold command can get us a creature finally to put some guiding voicing on. Or guiding voice as removal. Trouble is, if we use guiding voice as removal, it counters the learning part. So we can turn this into Swords to Plowshares, which seems pretty good. But then they do get to learn off of it. So yeah, we'll just Dusk Mage and put a voice on the Dusk Mage. That's fine. What do we want to get with it? Anatomy, summonings. Can't do the containment. Pest summoning feels a little bit weak. I like a red-white summoning, yeah. Except we don't have the second white. So you could get environmental sciences so we can start casting our extra white stuff, but we can't cast this. Oh, no, we can because of the red. Never mind. Yeah. We can do that. Sure, we'll take it. I'm sold. The window is covering up my mountain, so I just saw the plains. Reading is fundamental. Seeing is fundamental, Rob. I couldn't see the mountain. What does the command do? Let's see. Create a spirit. 3 damage to target. Or sack and draw. Kind of like create a spirit, 3 damage to target. Yeah, well, we don't have that. But we can, like, spirit nuke the Drake. How are we doing all that? I don't know what you mean, Scawny. But, yeah, we can certainly attack first. If they want to block with the Needlethorn, we're okay with that. Let's see what happens. I see. Sorry, Scotty, I'm with you now. You were picked. I thought you were trying to tell me you should do a 2-spell turn, Ryan. Cast the spirit, and then use your other 2 mana to nuke something. I was like, I don't see Scotty's math, but I understand now. Scotty's saying what modes to use on the command. I'm with you. I got there. So, yeah, that's a possibility. We could do that on defense. At this point, that doesn't... Should we just do this while shields are down? We can do it on their turn, but they're playing blue. I'm just going to do it. Oh, yeah, wait. Let's kill the Strix. I like it. No, that counters it, right? That would counter it? Because there's one target? Now I'm... Hold on. Oh, geez. I'm going to do this so I don't screw up completely. Sorry, gang. That wasn't what we wanted to do, but I was out of Hourglass, and there was no way I could have executed the command without getting my turn passed. So I took the lesser play that wouldn't be a complete punt rather than completely punting that turn. Sorry, I just took too long. That's all right. And yeah, I think you all are wrong. Like, create a 3/2, target thing, right? The only target this card would have had would have been gone and it would have fizzled. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't make it to the end of this saying, because 3 damage any target player. I'm with you. Once again, Ryan eventually gets there. This game is hard. Why do we play this game? So now I'm thinking, what do we need to do here? Kind of need to onslaught the 6/6. That leaves us with a guiding voice left over to augment our 3/2. Then we're going to take 4 in the air and go to 6, but then we have like inspiration to kill the big thing, pass caller to get it back. We can eventually get there. Onslaught, voice, kill Strix. Yes, we could kill the Strix with a voice. That's a good point. Maybe I need to do that now. Let's start here. We'll leave this back to bounce off the other 3/4. We can leave this back if we want to be sure to have... Like, if they kill this, though, I'm not chumping with this, so it's only if we want to double block, which I don't want to do. So yeah, I'm going to send that, and we're going to kill this flyer. That seems bad to you, Fenor? What, giving him learn? I like not taking 3 in the air for 1 mana. I mean, yes, the voice would have been good resolved on our stuff, but it's hard. I mean, it's not my favorite play of all time, but I don't hate spending 1 single white mana in a card to take out their Dream Strix. They get a learn, but it's a rare. They get some value out of their rare. And that's not a bad lesson to see, frankly, unless they're trying to do some sack kill or something, but in green-blue, I don't think so. Sure thing. CBL is not open. Had a reset. Didn't think about it. Should be coming back on soon, though. I mean, like, the real reason not to is just that we're so stacked with removal behind. I mean, we have so much extra removal using effectively our own creature augmenter as removal is a little weird, but it just fit into the curve. And that's what I was worried about, removal, but then again, like I was saying, I wasn't going to chump with this anyway, and it looks like Oppo had the perfect double removal answer anyway. All right, so now we've got 7 total mana. We can't 2-spell anything. We could pass Caller, Guiding Voice, and make a 5/3, but that seems weak. We are on Command, make a creature, or Command, sack a permanent and draw 2. Yeah, that's true. But how do we do... We can't do all of that, right? A 4/2 indestructible on their turn, and kill the... That you want... You're asking for 3 modes here, right? You only get 2 modes, not 3. That being said, a instant speed kill the cultivator play seems fine. Fenor's line is also reasonable. I'll do this. I'm going to do this, though, and do it right now. Remember, we just get to get it right back. That's why I took this pass collar. We wanted to splash it. Yeah, I actually looked at my clock. I was like, okay, I gotta decide now so I can actually cast this thing. Didn't want to do that again. And I am just going to get back the command. I think that's better than closing statement, because we can kill something and get a creature out of it. It doesn't kill this, though, whereas statement does. So, but we have blocks on that now. So I'll take it, but there is an argument for taking something that can hard kill the cultivator in case we don't have the pass collar for the job. And I'm going to stay back at our life total to actually threaten blocks on the 1/1s. All right. Snow Day for the win. The 9th. All right, Dad. Yeah, we stumbled where we expected to stumble, but also Oppo found the perfect card to win before we were able to stabilize too. I think we were close to stabilizing. If their draw was a little bit worse, that's a gain. Well, frustrating. If this is a plains instead of a swamp, this hand looks brilliant. As it is, we're going to keep and hope. Keep and hope. Can always lash our own eye twitch to go get a environmental sciences, right? Yeah, well, we could. And it's not off the table, but let's see what Oppo does. Ideally, we just chump with the eye twitch, right? And if Oppo's not going to do anything, I'm not going to do this now. You know, if they were applying some actual pressure, I might, but if they're not going to do anything, I'm going to try and find it on our own naturally. There we go. Little patience, little patience. Guiding Voice into open mana, although open mana unlikely to be able to mess with an eye twitch. Or we can just go Killian and make him have it. If they have a reject, we lose our Killian. I'm kind of in make him have it mode with Killian. We even get to leave up a lash, so let's just do that. Some people in chat want the Guiding Voice. I'm a little bit hesitant. There's not a ton of things that can mess with that, but Lightning Bolt and Shock, and there's just ways in which that goes so horribly awry. And if Killian lives, Killian's great. They're now on a must-kill Killian thing, so that's not the worst either. And you get a meme, so that's not the worst either. Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly. So they had the removal, but we made them. They had to have it right then and there. And now we have the safe guiding voice, which I really like. I'm going to start with a Sign in Blood, though. Pest summoning, that we can play this and hold up Lash, potentially. Or Spirit summoning, rather. Get a land we can summon in Remorse. That doesn't suck either. Could just Mage Hunter. Could just kill that Rutha dead while we can. How about kill that Rutha dead while we can? Everybody on board? I'm on board. Well, both of us had the removal for kind of must-answer creatures. We answered the Rutha, they answered the Killian. Let's go ahead and look at their hand. Although I could just Mage... If we Mage Hunter, we do have Lash up, and they have so many cards that we'll get something good with Agonizing next turn. So I'm going to start with an attack, actually. That's fine. Yeah, I did see that. Thanks, Robert. We're not going to let that auto-tapper get us. And from here... Expanded Anatomy or just Pest Summonings to get wider. I just feel like Pest Summoning ends up making some stuff I can't do much with. Versus... You like Sciences? We have our colors, though. I'm going to take Pest Summoning. And I'm going to tap this for mana. And do a Mage Hunter. We have a guiding voice, so it's like, it's also don't overthink your lessons when you're about to learn again anyway. All right, they didn't go for anything. This could go badly if they have an answer, but at least it's a 1-for-1 for whatever their answer is. It's not like we're going to take extra damage from the Pledge Mage. It worked. And on that front, I am going to voice up the Hunter. 4/5 is a great body in this format. And we can Remorse away their removal if we need to. I don't like both summonings. Actually, let's start with the Remorse. If I'm going to Remorse, let's actually start here and see what's up, right? But I think I want black on the Remorse. Then we can do Summoning Guiding Voice if we want. Oh, darn it. Come on. Black. There we go. Well, so much removal that it almost doesn't matter. I almost want to just take the Pledge Mage, leave him with nothing but responses, and try to overwhelm them with our dorky stuff. I'm just going to take the Pledge Mage. Counterspell would be another fair one, but I like getting rid of their threat here since I can't get rid of all their removal here. And voice or no voice? Voice because it gets us more stuff to do. Maybe I should have put it here, because this is what they want to kill. I went for extra damage this turn, but you could also make a case for making a 4/3, and then they have a tough choice here. Now they have an easy choice on Hunter. But it's also, like, it's their whole turn. And now we know they have a fistful of removal for what? Our 1/1s? Yeah, I saw that, but then actually, I mean, I could do it, but are we gonna really? If we do it, we're looking for a 2-drop. What 2-drop are we looking to find? Guiding Voice. Eliminate would be a 2-drop worth finding, but I'd rather just draw naturally here, so I am. We knew the book was coming, but we're trying to get wide around this best we can. Now I'll put a stop on with 3 mana available post. We get Igneous Inspiration, Promising Dusk Mage, also on the list of things we could get and play, also Closing Statement. So now I think I'm on Upkeep Scry if the end of turn Scry doesn't find anything. Onslaught, good enough. Let's keep it. Now they have a counter, but they have to counter it. And we'll just draw naturally now. Okay, see, that's good. So we go and make them counter, and then we have a Guiding Voice to make it tough. Guiding Voice into Expanded Anatomy for the, basically for the win. I think it's the win. Oh no, not win because they're going to counter the Onslaught. I was thinking I would get the ping. No, I want them to counter the Onslaught. I want the Guiding Voice and the Lesson. I think we do Guiding Voice and they counter that. Oh yeah, maybe. I think in either case we get them to 1, right? How is it lethal? It's a forced chump, but it's not lethal. Should be lethal after, that's the hope. All right. 1 for the home team at least. That was kind of interesting. I went after their hand expecting to take the removal spell. Instead, we saw nothing but removal and a pet and 1 creature, so we took the creature angle instead. Now, this is what we're talking about. Eye Twitch into Guiding Voice. Although I almost would prefer Eye Twitch into we find a 2-drop like Killian, into Promising Dusk Mage into Guiding Voice on Dusk Mage, but we'll take what we can get. And this is a fine start. And we will go and get our environmental sciences if nothing changes here. Sign in Blood does not change anything for me, so we're going to get Sciencey. I'm allowed to call for, pray to the magic gods, Robert. Why you got to shake your head about praying for the card you want? You never do that? You don't identify what the best draw is and hope for it? All right, let's do environmental sciences, see if there's a pause, and then if there's no... Well, also we could just go Dusk Mage here. Maybe I'm overthinking. Yeah, I'm just going to go Dusk Mage. keep building the board with creatures and know that we've got Sciences and Voice next turn. Sciences Blood or Sciences Voice. And actually, the potential of naturally drawing a swamp or a mountain even helps us decide, like maybe we draw our mountain and then we can go get a swamp with the Sciences for the Sign in Blood. Hey, you know, I would have liked to have gotten a counter on it first, but if we're drawing premium removal with a promising Dusk Mage, that's pretty promising indeed. And with no... Oh, you just move all in on iTwitch. That's a little greedy. I don't think we need to do that. I am going to make it a little bigger here, though. I like this, get this, and just add to the board. Next turn, we can get the mountain and have the inspiration, and we look like we have a target for it, too. Keep learning, keep learning. Oh, here, I can at least some... Oh, no! No!
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
We're doing fine. We got a pass caller online next turn to bring back any of this stuff. Mortality Spear. Now we get to learn again. What do we want? Pests to match the ground. Expanded Anatomy to get our flyer bigger. I kind of like flyer bigger, given that we're going to use the pass caller to get removal for the problem creature anyway. Right? We do have removal that we can use for that, right? Oh, maybe we don't. We got the inspiration. Well, it's not like we have much else to do, though. Yeah, we'll take the anatomy, but noting that we currently need... maybe I should have gotten the pest collar because we could double block the prof. Yeah, math might have had the right line there, but we'll be okay. We're at 17. Now we got a closing statement even. Like, we could just go swamp, anatomy, attack, closing statement, and that is not the worst thing I've ever seen either. It's a lot of eggs in this basket, but then it's like, kill this. Well, let's see if there's a pause when I anatomy. No pause. Oh, sorry. Robert, you're so right. Tapper got me. We'll go Sign in Blood, though, and be okay. And we have a Vigilant. Now we just have a trade to offer instead. Don't! Not what I was looking for, but fortunately we have a backup plan. So as far as getting got by the auto tapper goes, this one's not the worst. And I will throw this in front at first opportunity. Doomblade. All right, well, we got two closing statements. We just killed both their creatures. But I kind of like Onslaught, show us what you got. Go to 8 or 7, and then untap and see if we can't Mage Hunter's statement. I'm going to do that. We're not so low on life that we can't take this turn to try and set up for an even better pair of closing statements. Ooh, interesting. All right, so we can go Mage Hunter, Lash, but then we don't have... We need that 6 dead, so we're just going to Lash and Statement this time. And we don't even need to wait. I'll just do it now. Like, whatever. Feels like we're taking over on this one now. We go Mage Hunter Specimens. Or just Past Caller. I guess just Past Caller. Let's get a big flyer that's going in. We can get a closing statement back. There's a pause, but it's fully explained by the sack ability of the Arch, so we don't understand anything about what opponent is up to from that. Could also just get Sign in Blood back. You know, drawing extra cards here doesn't suck, but I think if we just have removal for days, we'll be okay. You like Burn. Burn does go to face, but Closing Statement adds a counter to our creature too. I'm gonna take the statement, but I don't. The inspiration is interesting too because it also learns. So a lot of good choices there. Killian softly. We'll do that. I like just Killian and Mage Hunter here, and then try to go nuts next turn. Should have sent a poet. We're gonna go closing statement for cheap right now. I guess they can just we still get the counter, right? So we'll just closing statement and try to Killian it up. Let's see what they find here. If Oppo can come back and win this, I'll be mightily impressed, and it probably would have to involve like a Crux of Fate at this point. I mean, it's just not fair. They have to block the Mage Hunter. Fair enough, Tony. I don't play around Wraths. Maybe I should. You should when it's the only way to lose, it's true. Is that the small stuff Wrath that adds mana or whatever? Yeah. Funny, I mean, we got Campus, but we don't really have Duelist on 2 with the Commons and the Mountain, but we're going to keep, of course. Might find a Swamp or a Plains off the top to support the Campus anyway. Swamp is our ideal draw, but if we have to, we play a Commons, and it's not the worst. Interesting. Well, we still got Killian. We don't have a follow-up play because of this mountain, but we're going to drop Killian, see if it makes it.
Mitchell on the emphatic rejection.
I don't play around that card. You got to try to cast your spells, you know?
Art and combat aren't so different.
And I guess I'm going to... I don't even know what this does, but let's assume this should die, kill it, and go get our environmental sciences.
I picked a bad fight.
Why read a Planeswalker when you can just burn it? Could play the sciences, but then what? So we play the sciences, we get a swamp, we play the swamp, and we've done nothing. I would rather just play a Dusk Mage here and make him respond to it, or build our board. All right. Obviously, Rutha needs to die. We have the Onslaught to accomplish it with, but I think I'm going to go... we can go Guiding Voice and then actually kill it at end of turn. But we can... I'm going to do the Guiding Voice, and then maybe Lash works, and if Lash doesn't work, we have Closing Statement. And for our... lesson, let's get ourselves more creature action and just get a Spirit Summoning. They might block this, but nope, they care about Rutha too much, and so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do Closing Statement. Let's Remorse into Sciences with Lash Up. Although I want to get a Plains. So maybe I should Sciences, Plains, and then Remorse. Hmm. 4/5. We got Lash for small stuff, but they don't have any small stuff. We've got a few big things to deal with. Command is going to get the Pugilist, looks like. Onslaught gets something else. Maybe we... They can't, like... I guess if they play a 3/3 and then duel, they get a 4/5, but that actually doesn't duel successfully, so I'm going to leave them the duel and take the 5/5, yeah. Dream Strix, well... You, Oppo, are getting a lesson. Although maybe do we want to give them a lesson? I mean, with no forest, they can't really do any of this stuff. Maybe I'm just supposed to let this happen. Because if I let them have a lesson, although if they're going to chump to get the lesson anyway, maybe. But let them do that. Let them do that. I like let them do that. Either take it, or if you're so hired up for a lesson that you're going to chump, do it. I'm predicting environmental sciences here. Yep. And that means they're going to go environmental sciences for a forest and play a cultivator to get another forest. That means we can't Lorehold command to kill anything here. So I'm just going to go Mage Hunter. Yeah, that's fair, Rob. They were pretty far away from casting the Witherwound Pledge Mage we took. I feel like if we want to use Lash for damage, we're going to be able to. We didn't need to do it there. We can do it to win the game or whatever. Oh, that's right. It does leave them the Mage dual play, too. That's too bad. But now maybe we Lash so that this is a trade, right? I think that's worth it. And it should work either way, right? We just throw it on either one. Oh, did I screw it up? Sorry, I did. I presumed math there, clearly. Whoops. Whoops. They found another one. This is actually going to be okay. I think we get him pretty good with Lorehold command.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your precious little field trip pretty damn quick, huh?
Ooh, Guiding Voice. Yeah, we kind of got to get him... did we get any... We didn't get a Annihilation out of the board, huh? Kind of need to get them... Because, yeah, the Pugilists are going to be tough. Going to be an 8/8 to get around. But if we can go summoning and get in for a big smack here... and maybe even go ahead and put a... Yeah, like summoning, put a counter on the Dusk Mage. I'm going to start here. I'm going to do this... Anatomy versus Pest Summonings. I'm going to get the Anatomy. Yeah, we can actually... Can we just get there here? Indestructible and Haste. 3/2, so it would be a 4 power. It all becomes must block. Yeah, actually I like that, because then they can play this and we get wide around it. Let's try it. Next turn we get Anatomy and Summoning. They can 2 creature here. And they're 2 big ones, so I don't know, this is close. But one of them will be a chump, right? Well, I don't know, we'll see. I just gotta see what they're gonna do here. Yeah, okay, so 5/5 means... Ooh, Arrogant Poet has just changed the plan. We're just going to try and fly over for the win next turn. That's not enough. I think we got it. We're certainly going for it. Oh, no, wait, that's 4, not 5. I was thinking that anatomy provided 3. It's only 2. So it's not lethal, but it's still the plan, right? We go anatomy and have a bunch of stuff back on blocks. We don't have get through for win attacks, so it's a 2-turn play, but it's still what we're trying to do. Mage just attack with Poet. Yeah, I suppose we could have waited until next turn on the anatomy since this wasn't technically lethal. That's totally worthwhile, Tron. Good thought. This is what I'm locked into, but I like Tron's thought. Puts us less in a position to have to fade, right? Because then they're in a real tough spot of needing to kill Hunter and Poet, and then killing Hunter kills them, effectively. Now they have a window to get rid of the Poet that doesn't injure them. I gotta read a Planeswalker again? Are you kidding me? I don't want to read a Planeswalker.
Match before. You need to slow down. Let's talk.
Oh, or we can eliminate and win. How about that? Let's assume that works. Sometimes density of removal is enough. And I never had to read anything about that Planeswalker. I still don't know what that Planeswalker does. Ha! See you, Liver. Thanks for hanging. Woof. Another rough one, but Mountain into Commons isn't good enough for me to keep here. Hand is relatively cheap, especially if we get Killian and some mana out. I mean, need something besides a mountain, though. Just going to eliminate. Well, yeah, get in more, but literally can be cast on any other land we have in our deck. This is our only mountain, so if we draw land, we can cast Killian, and if we don't draw land, we were screwed anyway. Yeah, well, Lorehold Campus produces white. I mean, we can't cast it maybe that turn, but my point is any land, and we are now have the available mana resources eventually to cast the Killian. I'm going to go max mana here, though, and Dusk Mage. Also putting out the creature we would wouldn't mind seeing die if it was going to die. And if it lives, we can Guiding Voice it, and then it's actually decent on this board. Seemed like there was a pause after the second Mentor. What is... If it was Guiding Voice, they would have just done it. Swords, you think? Could be Swords. Definitely nervous about running out the Guiding Voice. God's Willing is a good call. Mark could be. If it's Swords, that blows us out. But if it's not Swords, Guiding Voice and Arrogant Poet is a really nice turn. So I'm going to try it. Or even, yeah, just get the... we can just go for the... Sciences and play it now, too, if we want. Yeah, it could be Make Your Mark... which makes the Dusk Mage... Now it trades with the Dusk Mage, but we draw a card in that case. We haven't played a land yet this turn, right? So I should just Sciences and play a land. And we'll get ourselves a swamp. I'm going to stay back, and I will block a Mentor, even though our read is kind of the mark card. I'm going to block anyway. At the very least, we draw a card. They'd still trade, and we would draw a card. So we're going to make them have it. Unless we get exiled, at least we get a card out of this. But Mark seems correct. That's kind of been our read, and let's see if it's correct. Tough one. Was hoping it was Make Your Mark. This one is a trade for the enthusiastic study, but it's kind of like, well, we get a card draw and they get a card draw, so it's a bonus. Each of us got a 1-for-1 with a bonus. All right, Killian making for a cheap inspiration seems fine here. We could also play another Mage Hunter and try to call them on the mark again, because we still don't know what the one white card is. At 14, I'm going to go for the Mage Hunter. That's true. We could go Killian and both Inspiration and Anatomy, which is going to be kind of the play for next turn. If we were at lower life, I wouldn't like putting our defenses into the hand of a soul creature, because then one piece of removal could just kill you. In this case, one piece of removal doesn't kill us. It gets us pretty low. But if Mage Hunter is enough to trade for a Mentor, maybe it is Make Your Mark or whatever, we got this one to worry about. But, you know, if we can get him to use this on one and Make Your Mark the other, it's okay with the inspiration behind. So maybe it's not Make Your Mark. Well, let's see if they attack. I guess it's not. If it was Make Your Mark, they would have attacked, right? So now I'm going to go the Killian plan that we discussed. Here's that pause again. What is it? +1, +0, draw? Does it suggest it's God's willing? It could mean a lot of things here. I guess if it was +1, +0, draw, they might have attacked. Well, we could Arrogant Poet then. Let's go Arrogant Poet. They're not attacking anyway. I'll still throw the Mage Hunter in front of stuff. Could be a full control bluff. It's true Jim, but there's enough going on here that if they want to hold that up for now, I'm willing to let them have that over us. And I'm continuing to be willing to throw creatures in front. Well, they are certainly not going shields down on that white. But here we're just going to take it. They're not sending in the 3/3s, suggesting that it's not like... I mean, maybe that is more God's willing, because even if you have God's willing, you're not going to send in your 3/3s to your 3/4 just to have that become a save my creature move. So that makes some sense. So God's willing is starting to feel more and more likely, but now we're in a spot where we don't have any choices in the matter. I'm going to go for end of turn. Well, we have Killian, so we actually go for... I wish one of these were instant. If one of these were instant, we could do one and then respond with the other, although this thing's a 4/4 now anyway. So let's start with the let's go with Hunter's Onslaught, and then we can at least inspire one of the other ones. So what I'm expecting is this gets God's Willinged. And then inspiration works on one of the mentors, and we get to learn as well. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to try it then. I don't know what exactly is going on, but it could be pump. There's not really pump for 1 mana, though. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm going to try this. All right, it all worked. Now what do we want? We have our campus. We could even get... We can remember that Containment Breach is online for us. Yeah, maybe it's Tithe and we just keep holding exactly up. Right. Yeah, Expanded Anatomy seems good. Well, let's figure out if they've got it or not. You got a Tithe? Tithe that. Tithe it up, baby. It's not Tithe. I'm not going to go to 7 to attack with the Poet, so we're just going to pass here. A lot of value there from Killian, though, right? We cast Mage Hunter's Onslaught, Igneous Inspiration, and Expanded Anatomy. For those counting at home, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We cast 10 mana of spells on our turn for 5 total mana. Thank you, Killian. Isn't that crazy? I saw this card, my jaw hit the floor, and that turn is why. Yeah, it could be just a full control, make your opponents nervous. Yeah, Campus EDB tapped. We didn't even spend 5. We spent 4 mana. And we have more Killian turns here. With the commons, we can even start with a Sign in Blood and see if we draw something we want to play instead. It's a little nerve-wracking to go down on life that way. Maybe I should just start with a Killian. And does it keep the sign? It keeps the sign mana. So yeah, I'm going to do that here. And where do we put the counter? Killian is obvious, but not necessarily correct. We might want to spread out the love. Put it on Poet, everything can just attack. Yeah, I'm going to put it on Poet. Spread it around. And with Killian's lifelink, we're going to send in, and they can trade off with the Poet if they want. I could even take the... Yeah, it could be Defiant Strike. But haven't they had... They've had windows where Defiant Strike would have been a good play, and they didn't do it. Yeah, I do remember that Sign can hit face. I don't think we're going to try and win with Sign. I think we probably just want more action. And with Killian connecting and us back at 13, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So absurd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can pass Caller. If we pass Caller back, like a 3-mana kill spell, we can cast it for 1. Killian. Killian indeed. I don't know if I gave you the Killian meme properly there, but Killian deserves it. MVP.
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Four wins, feels good. Already to that nice, what is it, 1400? You know, we're right near profitability. That always feels good. Gotta go with this. If we find a swamp on 2, we'll go iTwitch Voice. If not, we have Commons on 2 and a Dusk Mage on 3. Ooh, and we got a even better draw. We didn't hear you. You get a. I'll get you your poet meme. You deserve that. Here we go.
Well, Miss Muffet sat on a tougher.
I'm on Guiding Voice, Plains Guiding Voice next turn over Common. Since we still have 2 more lands, we can go Plains next, Guiding Voice next turn, Dusk Mage the turn after, and then worry about landing the Commons. Right? Oh. Actually, maybe saving the voice for the Dusk Mage is fair. I've changed my mind because I do like a counter on the Dusk Mage. So yeah, I'm with Tron. We're going to Commons this turn. And do we want to chump to learn, or do we want to actually get aggro? This is a real question as well. Although if they cast a spell, the iTwitch can't block anyway. So I'm going to attack given that there's a chance it can't block.
All right, everyone, chill.
Oh boy, our Dusk Mages showed up. Plural. Ugh. Well, I said this deck was a tale of its high end and its low end, and this is kind of our low end, but a necessary evil because the deck doesn't have a ton of creatures. Lorehold Command is going to be pretty good next turn, but what I'm thinking this turn is actually Guiding Voice, putting a counter on Dusk Mage into a expanded anatomy for the iTwitch. They got cards in open mana, so this could all go horribly awry, but I'm sure going to try here. Can even wait on the anatomy and just go with another Dusk Mage. But I kind of like getting the anatomy on the Twitch and the Twitch blocking the Trickster. Yeah, what do you think, True? You see my reasoning? I mean, it would be pretty good to get a 3/3 flyer in and vigilant and blocking. But Dusk Mage ahead of another anatomy also seems pretty darn. I'll just keep... Yeah, I'll build out my board of creatures. That makes sense. And I'm going to send in the iTwitch, though, because I still want... well, let me think. Do we want to chump with this and learn, or do we want to? Because I'm already now I have anatomy plans for the Dusk Mage, not the iTwitch. So if I'm not putting it on the iTwitch, maybe I'm just supposed to chump and draw, chump and learn. Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to say no attacks and be willing to chump with that, now that I think it through here. We've got Lorehold Command coming. We got a Pass Caller to bring back the command. A lot of possibilities here. A lot of open mana and cards now make me nervous, but Lorehold Command's an instant, so we could attack and decide on during attacks. A lot of stuff could be interesting on that front, to do it that way. I'm gonna... Ah, all that open mana is so nerve-wracking, right? But I kind of like sending these because I don't really care what happens to them. I could send this, but it tips the hand. Like, this is a little bit more threatening. And see, now I can lower hold command +1 and kill this thing and also lightning helix something. Let's try that. If this doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's all pretty good either way. 3 damage to any target and indestructible haste. And we're going to kill... I guess the Pledge Mage is a little more... This can get counters on it, though. Yeah, let's take out this. We're going to gain the life. I like this because if this gets countered, it's not that bad. If it doesn't get countered, we get our 2-for-1 value out of the command. And if it does get countered, it's a 1-for-1. And we can actually get it back. So that felt all pretty reasonable. Pillar Drop Warden. I think I like Hunt for Specimens, Pillar Drop at end of turn. And then we can get... well, what do we get? Yeah, I could be aggressive and kill it now. That's fair, Siriana. Just spend 5, kill it, and then we can put a counter here and get in with everything. All right, I'll go with Siriana's play. What do you think of San Dimas High School football?
San Dimas High School football rule!
Well, aren't these just the right size for our little dusk mages? But we got a pass caller. Let's get back our command and get this thing over with. Next turn looks awfully lethal, unless they got something big. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can even hunt and then command for haste and devastation and all that stuff. I'm just gonna do this. They didn't have the thing to stop the things, so we won the thing. Yeah, Dusk Mages are clearly too good for this world. I'm going to check and see how many memes I left on by doing this. None. Wow, cool. Here's what I've really been expecting from this deck. More of this. More guiding voices without creatures. We're going to keep, but this is one of the types of keeps that we knew we might be faced with around here. Hey, Knight. I didn't realize that was you. I don't know what your username was. It didn't leap out at me if it was something like 30-pound Knight. Good game, good game. Well, thanks for the game. I don't know if you thought it was good. We have it. We keep having it. Now, were you throwing us some bluffs there with the pausing? Because it worked. Like, I was definitely playing around pauses and stuff. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get our environmental sciences, fix our splash, and also we're just low on lands in general here. We're going to lash and sciences here, I think, is what makes the most sense. Sorry, Oppo. I know you liked that one. Ooh, I want the camp. We'll get the Spectre out, then the campus, and then Pass Caller will be right around the corner. Let's see if Oppo has anything for this Spectre. If not, if they attack or if they just pass, that's great news. If they spend removal on the Spectre, that's fine. We have the Pass Caller about to come back. But if we get a chance to Guiding Voice onto the Spectre, that wouldn't suck either. Nice play. Oppo gets an attack here. At this point, probably Campus Onslaught. Oh, they kind of had a free attack. That was a little bit weird to me. They make this a 3-2 Vigilance. I'm never in a million years blocking with a Spectre. So they missed an attack there, and now I'm going to go for the Onslaught on Prof. You like this? I mean, we could just go Guiding Voice, get Pests or something. Yeah, they would get a counter, but then we just kill it with Lorehold Command. I'm not too worried about that. It does mean we won't be able to attack the Spectre because the Laureate will be a 3-3. I think it's worth it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Had to think about it, but I think this is worth it with the Lorehold Command behind. And especially the Pass Caller. I mean, if they strip our hand, like discard 2 would be about the worst thing Oppo could do to us. And even then, I just go Guiding Voice, Command, and Pass Caller back the command. But no discard, please. No hand destruction. No hand destruction, and then we're in great shape. Ink Duelist is going to make the command even cheaper, so we just get to play Killian for free, which is part of Killian's powers of amazingness. Just got to make sure we don't get worked over by the auto-tapper. I wouldn't consider blocking, well, because they had a 3-3 and I had a 2-3. I don't even know why you, like... Right? Anyway, Duelist. And then Command. Well, maybe I'll send in and see, because how they block could change what I do with the command. If they block the Pest, we can use the +1/+0 indestructible mode to turn it into removal. They did not, so we are just going to be using it as removal. So here's the removal part, and then we could sack and draw 2. What about sacking? Wait, oh, we're still mid attacks. Let's go to damage. I like sacking the pest for 2 cards here, actually. Maybe that's greedy and just me loving cards, because I could just take a spirit over 2 random cards and not lose a pest. I can get a pest and a spirit or 2 random cards. Maybe I'm being greedy and I should just take the pest and the spirit. But I love drawing cards. I'm going to do it. I don't care. You can't make me. Yeah, and there's the land. That doesn't suck. Let's go ahead and use this now on the Killian. Smoke them while you got them, etc. I'll take an anatomy here. Yeah, it has to be targeted. Spells you cast that target a creature. So we had to pick a mode that targeted a creature, but we were gonna. Double closing statement is pretty demoralizing for an opponent. Let's see if one of them lands. I'm going to spread around the love now. Yeah, that's going to demoralize a lot of opponents right there. Is Killian a good card? I can't tell.
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Well, it's overperforming because we're drawing the right side of our deck, right? I mean, there's excellent cards in this deck. It just has ratio issues. The ratio of small creatures to guiding voices is terrible, right? There's uncomfortable things about this deck, but ultimately it's got the tools if it can get to the mid game with its mana. All right, playing for the trophy. And we get a foul to give to boot. No white yet, but we do have an inspiration on 3 with any land, and Oppo's going first, so I'm going to keep this. And there's our white anyway, because why not? Martytron incoming. Nothing to do on 2, unfortunately. And for 3, rather than kill something, I'm going to get going with our weaker stuff. See if they want to spend any resources on a Dusk Mage. And obviously snap blocking as well. If they want to spend resources on a Dusk Mage, I'm in for that. The cha-cha there on the runner suggests this is going to bounce and nothing else is going to happen. But maybe they're getting fancy to try and lull me into it. But yeah, that's what I expected there. No mana for an onslaught yet. We could closing statement at end of turn. Looks like Oppo's trying to be aggro. I'm in for just attack, see what they want to do. It might be a bookworm, not bookworm, but berry in books here. Let's see if that's the case. And yeah, it could be a Eureka Moment thing. I like just Spectre here. None of these creatures are gotta kill it type. Good call on the Eureka Moment. There it is. Gedan more with the Soul Reed. Frosty!
All right, everyone, chill.
Let's go Campus. Can't get 2 spells no matter what this turn, so we're going to go Campus to set up Pass Caller next turn. And now it's getting a little crowded in the air. I kind of like... Maybe we just hold on to the statement and inspire the Trickster. This is close to being trouble as well, except we still have time there. Yeah, I'm going to inspire the Trickster. And what are we taking out of the board? Counters for the Dusk Mage. Pests for the ground game. No, I think we just want Anatomy or Spirit Summoning. All those Death Touchers make me think maybe you just want a Spirit Summoning. That's true. I could get the Land Finder, but we'll find our swamp. And in the meantime, we can cast like everything else. This is fine. I'm going to say at 15, 18, a little bit on the back foot. I'm going to leave the Dusk Mage back to block the runner. But that's close. That's a close one, whether or not we're putting pressure on their 18 or protecting our 15. Never mind. Boots on the ground. Spirit Summoning, Closing Statement, the Vortex Runner. Seems good to me. Do we need to start trading off for Drakes, or are we going to actually try and race them? I think we're going to kill this and just ignore Drakes for right now. That's good if they're doing that. I mean, it's a lot of mana for that particular move, so. Guiding Voice, there you are. Where you been? We need you. Now, though, Guiding Voice into Find Land into Mage Hunter or Mage Hunter's Onslaught, one of the two. I like putting it here so that, or here even. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to kill, maybe I want it here, but this might have to trade off with a Drake at some point. I'm going to put it on my weakest creature. And get the Environmental Sciences. Don't mind the 2 life off of this. So, Mage Hunter or kill on the ground. Wish this was something was an instant here. Dusk Mage, if they trade, at least draws us a card. I think we go ahead and send in, and then we decide what to do after combat. Probably just Mage Hunter after combat, though, as Tron suggests. I thought they might go for this. I'm cool with that. Like, I'm good with all the blocks they have here. That's why we're attacking. I'm going to go ahead and kill the real thing and let the token live. Token can get hit by eliminate. The Manifestation Sage cannot. Closing statement for more removal action. At 11 life, though, we are just going to go with the Mage Hunter and hope that this action behind is enough for next turn and beyond. They're getting aggro, and we're just going to win now because of that. Unless they got... I mean, I guess... Okay, never mind. Never mind.
All right, everyone.
Frosty. I know it's Toasty, but if I said Toasty, it doesn't make any sense with a Frost Trickster, so I'm saying Frosty. Well, well, well. Closer than we wanted. Can we somehow get him? We can onslaught like the one. The other becomes a... No, not a force block. I don't think we're dead, right? Because we can kill two things. So we kill two things, and then if they fly everything else, we're still alive. They do 4. I guess they could. Maybe we need to get the colony dead. Because the way we could lose is they get colony to 4/4 and fly it, right? So colony needs to die. Statement now forces the block. Interesting point. So we could statement now and then effectively get the 2 creatures dead we need dead, but without having to spend 2 cards. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go for that. Also, only 2 black mana. Great call. Man! Tight game. But what are they going to do? What kind of attacks you got? We find we got this double onslaught that's not really going to be castable. Probably have to go past caller next turn, but then I think we can get 5 to the face or 3 to the face. That might just be good enough if we can survive from there. So yeah, we're gonna go for that. Oh, swing and drain also just... Yeah, I guess if this is a... I mean, we should go for a win. I'm just worried, like, if they have... I guess if they have Barry or whatever, we lose anyway. So they probably have Barry, but Barry gets this whether we attack or not, so we're definitely attacking. And we probably lose then. Let's see. If they have Barry... and we play the pass caller, we can block. No, we're still not dead, right? So, all right, we're gonna give it a try. You say just 4/3? Ooh, so close. So, past caller getting Inspiration gives us block on the 2/2, go to 1 and win. If they top deck, they top deck, but pass caller sets up the win. So does Spectre in that same way. I mean, they're but that's fair. Siriana says pass caller puts us dead to removal, whereas drain doesn't put us dead to removal. Yeah, keeping Spectre back would have been fine, but then they'd be at 5. And this way they're at 1. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it now. Cultivate is not enough. We did it. Easy 7-1. Just like we all expected, right? Everybody predicted 7 wins here with this deck, right? 7 wins. There's a lot of quality cards in this deck. There's no, like, I mean, this actually doesn't surprise me, but neither would have 2 and 3, right? Like, we could have gone 2 and 3, and I wouldn't have been surprised. We went 7-1. I'm not surprised. There's almost no result from that deck that surprises me because it had some serious flaws and some serious power. So, depending on whether we ended up seeing more of our flaws or our power, that was going to make the difference. Oh, I believe you. Thanks for the game. A good game. We had here's if you want to see the deck. Just talking about how there were some strong opinions on how good this deck is, or at least opinions. And my point about it was that it has such great stuff. Like, just look at this pile of quality removal that was working to our advantage, right? This is quite a pile of great cards. These are just piles. Killian's amazing. Guiding Voice, not at its best here, but when you can ever cast it, it's great. So, yeah, I don't know what the takeaways on this are other than that, you know, Lorehold Command is strong, Killian is strong, and if you can get enough removal and recursion, a weak-looking deck can get there if you can just survive. All right, we'll take it, though. Good one, gang. Only 11:16 my time. I'm not ready for the new listen-ups. Oh, I owe Math a reading meme. Here you go, Math. Sorry.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Yeah, none of our opponents played anything absurd. There's a Planeswalker I saw a couple of times, but I never had to read it. I just decided to beat it instead of read it. Beat it, don't read it. That's my new motto. All right, YouTube friends, thanks for hanging out for that one. We trophied. Pretty cool. I wouldn't have predicted it with that deck exactly, but like I said, also not a super surprise that things went our way. We drew decently enough for our overwhelming removal to get there, basically. And it did. Cool. Bye, YouTube friends.